Hello friends, myself Prem S. Mishra. Today we are going to discuss about expectorant. In under this topic we will cover uh, its definition. Means firstly we should know about about the expectorant. These are available as a standalone drug or as an ingredient in all-in-one cold and flu medication. So we can say under this topic we will cover definition, classification, mechanism of action, method of preparation of the various inorganic pharmaceutical agent. So all these things we will discuss under this topic. It will be the objective of this topic. Now firstly we will discuss definition. Expectorant, what is expectorant? Basically we can define expectorant are those drugs. Here we are saying which help in removing sputum from the respiratory tract either by increasing the fluidity or reducing the viscosity of sputum or increasing the volume of fluid that have to be expelled from the respiratory tract by coughing. Means its main function is to remove the sputum, to remove the cough mucus from your respiratory tract. Why it requires to remove cough? Because when during infection our mucus gland which secrete more and more amount of mucus which can entrap the foreign particles, and by entrapping this coughing start. And by using this expectorant it can increase the fluidity or it can increase the volume of fluid that have to be expelled from the respiratory tract by coughing. So these expectorants are used in cough mixture for this purpose. They act either by increasing the bronchiole secretion or by making it less viscous. Suppose if you are using expectorant, then by coughing it will increase the bronchial secretion by making it less viscous. Means it will reduce the viscosity of your cup, your mucus. And these drugs such as ipecacuanha, potassium iodide, ammonium chloride, those drugs act as a expectorant. They irritate the lining of stomach or respiratory tract, which reflects and stimulate the production of sputum by the gland in the bronchial mucous membrane. So here we can see also example of the some inorganic expectorant that are ammonium chloride, potassium iodide, and sodium iodide, and other have another related issue. So these are the some example of expectorant, some inorganic drug which are used as a expectorant. Now classification, how we will classify this? We can classify expectorant on the basis of their mechanism of action. First one is sedative expectorant and another is a stimulant expectorant. What do you mean by sedative expectorant? Means those expectorant, these are the stomach irritant expectorant which are able to produce their effect through stimulation of gastric reflexes like ipecac, Indian skill, antimony, potassium tartarate, ammonium chloride, sodium citrate, and potassium iodide also. These have sedative expectorant property. Why we are saying sedative expectorant property? Because they can irritate the stomach which are able to produce their effect through stimulation of gastric reflexes. Second one is stimulant expectorant. These are the expectorant which brings about a stimulation of a secretory cell to the respiratory tract. Since these drug can stimulate secretion, more fluids gets produced in respiratory tract and sputum is diluted. So here we can use eucalyptus oil, lemon, anise, and active constituents of oil like these which are present here. So all these drugs can be used as a stimulant also. It was the classification of drug. Now we will see ammonium chloride, because we had seen this ammonium chloride will have sedative expectorant property. Its molecular formula is NH4Cl. Its molecular weight is 53.49. Now we will see here ammonium chloride contains less than 99% and not less than 99% and should not be more than 100.5% of ammonium chloride that are calculated on dry basis. Description: it have a colorless crystal or a white crystalline powder. Identification test: we can identify also this. It can give the reaction of ammonium salt and chloride. So by these method we can identify. Preparation: here we can see how we will prepare this. We can prepare commercially. It is prepared by neutralizing ammonia with hydrochloric acid. Commercially in large amount we can prepare ammonium chloride by this method. The solution is evaporated till crude vitreous crystalline mass of ammonium chloride that is obtained. Means firstly we will treat ammonia with HCl, we will heat it, we will evaporate it till the crude crystalline mass is obtained. So it can also produce by heating ammonium sulfate with sodium chloride. Here we are taking ammonium chloride with sodium sulfate, then it will give ammonia. So these are the method of preparation of ammonium chloride. Now we will see use. What is the use of ammonium chloride? It's very important. It acts in maintaining the acid-base equilibrium in the body fluid. It have ammonium chloride act as a mild expectorant. It have mild expectorant property. It does so due to local irritation, which produces and increasing the secretion of respiratory tract and make the mucus less viscous. So ammonium chloride and ammonium carbonate are used in cough preparation. So these are the basic use of ammonium chloride here. Now we will see potassium iodide. Potassium iodide have also anti-expectorant property. It have also sedative expectorant property. It contains its molecular weight, molecular formula is potassium iodide and its molecular weight is 166.0. And some specification we can see here: potassium iodide contains not less than 99.0% and not more than 100.5% of potassium iodide. These are calculated on the dry basis. Description: it is colorless crystal or a white powder. It is a odorless preparation. Industrially, it may be obtained by the action of iodine on moist iron filling to form ferroferric iodide. FeI3, FeI2, FeI3, 2FeI3, which then gets decomposed with potassium carbonate. Means they are giving some preparation. By this method, we can also prepare here. Here if we are treating iron with iodine, then it will give FeI2, ferrous iodide. This ferrous ferric iodide is treated with potassium carbonate, then it will give potassium iodide. It is a method of preparation of industrially we can prepare potassium iodide by this method, and it will give ferric oxide composition here. So we can say uses here. We are saying storage. It can store in a protected from light and moisture. And again, as you know, we are studying expectorant. So this potassium iodide have expectorant property. It is used as expectorant, and it can also be used in the treatment of thyroid deficiency because it contains iodine. This iodine may help for the synthesis of thyroxine hormone. That's why it is also this potassium iodide can also be used as a thyroid deficiency, used in the treatment of thyroid deficiency, and it also include in table salt. Expectorant as a saline diuretics. It also have a saline diuretics. It has a mild antifungal activity. It also have mild antifungal activity. So these are these potassium iodide have sorry, this potassium iodide have very wide application in you can use as expectorant. It is also used in thyroid deficiency. It also have a saline, used as a saline diuretics, and it also have mild antifungal property also. So it is a importance of this potassium. And these are the following references we had followed during the discussion of expectorant. At last, thanks a lot. Thank you so much.